We found this Ryobi in the trash, and today we're going to troubleshoot why it ended up there. At first glance, this pressure washer looks to be close to brand new with very little usage out of it. So today we're going to go over why this may have ended up in the trash. And the first thing we need to do is do a bit of a visual inspection, first to see too if the engine will even run. So we'll want to check the fuel, check the oil, the air filter, and the starting controls. So first, let's try to get it started. Make sure our fuel valve is on. We're going to choke it, turn it on, and give it a few pulls. Unfortunately, we're not getting a burp out of it. So one, it's either not getting fuel, or two, it's not getting spark. So from here, I'll finish the visual inspection, check out the air filter, make sure it is clean. And as you see, air filter looks really brand new, not really much use to it. Oil, we'll pull the dipstick and check it, make sure it's at the proper level. Also make sure that fuel didn't flush through into the crankcase, washing the oil out. So you'll want to have good viscosity, which we do, and it's good color. Again, very nice shape, not looking like it was used much, and it's at the appropriate level and viscosity. So oil level is good. From here, I will check out and see if this unit has spark as well. So we want to make sure that our switch is in the on position. Now, using a spark tester, we're going to remove the boot, hook up our spark tester to the spark plug and into the boot. This is going to create a flash down in the threaded area here. So we're looking for any glow of light. And as long as we have that glow of light, we know we have enough spark, so then we can go on to the fuel system. We have glow, we have spark. So after I check for spark, I'm going to go into the fuel. Now from here, I'm going to check the fuel system. It is very important to know that fuel these days only has a shelf life of about 30 days. So the biggest thing and the typical thing we see on these a lot of the time is because you don't use them, they sit. What it can do is it pulls moisture in from the atmosphere into your fuel tank. That moisture settles, can dry out any of your gaskets, any of your rubber hoses, create a gummy substance in your carburetor, so causing no start issues and conditions. So it is imperative to use an ethanol-free fuel when you are operating these. It has a longer shelf life, and it allows the engine to run much more efficiently than with standard fuel. So big recommendation is the ethanol fuel, less problems down the road when it comes to starting these. So we'll want to check our fuel as far as what it smells like. You'll get a bit of a stale smell to it if it's old fuel. You'll either get it up here unless you added some new fuel on top of that. But after that, you're going to trail down into your carburetor, and we're going to pop the bowl off and see what the bowl looks like, because that's really going to give us a good indication of what happened here and what it's going to be like. So from there, we'll need a 10mm wrench to pop the bowl off. Now, as you're taking this off, you're gonna have fuel leak out, and it's gonna be kind of fluorescent in color more than likely. This is also another indication of fuel going bad, as well as the smell. You'll notice it really extreme in the air. It's almost like a varnish or a nail polish remover. So if you're smelling that, it's definitely bad fuel, and at that point, we do recommend replacing the carburetor. And thankfully, Honda sells their carburetors fairly cheap, so it's extremely economical to replace these. And as you can see by the inside of the bowl, it's yellow. Fuel is turned, that's bad. This ends up causing clogs in the fuel system as well, so jets get all dirty. We have debris and rust sitting down at the bottom of the bowl, which also is not a good thing, because then your carb's trying to suck that up and get it into your engine. So from here, we'll want to replace our carburetor as a whole. Now that we've come to the conclusion that we're going to have to replace the carburetor on this engine, let's do a inspection to the rest of the pressure washer just to see what we may be getting into to see if it is actually economical to go forward with these repairs. So from here, we're gonna go down to the main working unit of this that makes it a pressure washer and check out our pump. Doing our visual inspection of the pump, we'll notice that there are zip ties around the manifold, showing that the pump also is a reason why the customer threw this unit into the trash. So what we found as we're looking at it, we got a decent amount of corrosion into the outlet pipe, some on the inlet, and then right here, we're supposed to have a chemical injector, but that has since broken off, and the individual tried to fix it themselves by using JB Weld. It didn't work. Proper ways to try to extract that, but unfortunately with these pressure washers, there aren't too many parts available for them as far as just replacing a manifold. So we're gonna have to replace the pump. So we'll replace this or check on what the prices are, see what this comes out to as far as fixing it and whether it's economical for repairing or just replacing. Now that we've diagnosed our pressure washer and figured out why this thing ended up in the trash, now's the time to factor whether it's economical to repair it or just replace it as a whole. So we know we're gonna need a new carburetor based on what we found with the fuel and how gunked up the bowl was. So cost-wise, as I said earlier, Honda sells their carburetors pretty cheap. So with gaskets, you're looking about $30 total with the parts. And then as far as our pump goes, because we can't find repair parts for the pump that came on this unit, we did some research, found a rear-facing pump that we sell a decent amount of that's gonna also fit and mount to this unit that we can get parts for. We have parts available for, they're on our website daily. So we're gonna replace it with one of our pumps. This runs between $100 to $120. So all in, we're probably looking about $150 or so worth of repair parts to go onto this machine. And after doing the research on what a unit like this costs, ranges about $450, I'd say putting $150 into this is well worth repairing versus replacing.